let us take one more example similar to the previous one. And here again the isometric drawing of an object is given. So we know the shapes and sizes of various components of the object from here. And what we have to do, again we have to draw the frontal, horizontal and profile view of the given object. So here what you will notice, we know these shapes and sizes. However, as in the previous case, they are the inclined faces, so they will appear as the force hot end. And for the force hot end, we cannot draw them directly. Those faces of the object, for example here this face, if my viewing direction is this, so that's my front, so this face is perpendicular to the viewing direction, so I can draw this one without much trouble. Okay, similarly for the top view I can draw this, okay, because this surface is perpendicular to the direction when we are viewing from the top. However, for the surface here, similarly here it is not the case, so we will have to make use of the auxiliary view. And because we know the true shapes, we can create the normal view on an auxiliary plane. Again from there we can transfer the details to the frontal, from frontal we can take it to the horizontal and so on, and we can complete the views. So let us do it. Again it is quite involved, large number of lines. I will pass you the PPT of this, the PPT animation, so you can see it in a better manner, but try to follow it here now. Okay, so the easy part which can be done directly is the front view, and you can create the front view of this without much trouble. Okay, so this is something which is directly can be done, and this because the shapes and sizes are given to you. Then we can go to the top, and we have created the top view. Again top view is quite straightforward here, so the top view also for this part can be created. However, we cannot create the top view here and top view here because that will be the force hot end one. Next what we have done, we have taken a hinge line and an auxiliary surface here, or auxiliary plane, similarly another auxiliary plane here. And for this line, what this line is the S view of this surface. Similarly the line here is the S view of this surface on the bottom side. Okay, and here it is the top side. And we know what this object looks like when we see it in the bottom, and also here when we see it from the top, what it looks like. We know it because these are given to us. So with the help of this we can draw the true views or the true shapes of these inclined parts here. So let us do that. So if we draw the true shapes, that's quite straightforward. I will not spend much time on that here, and similarly over here the true shapes are drawn. Okay, now we come to the next part, which is with the help of the true shape, or with the help of the true shape here, I want to now create the top view. So to do that, what we will do, again as we have done, this will become our A3, the frontal will become A2, and here it is A1. So three auxiliary planes. We will be measuring the distance on A1, taking the projectors from A2, and then making the projection on A3. Let's do it. And so what I am doing now, from the different parts of the shape, okay, I am drawing the projectors to the bottom face here. These are the projectors. And now I have done many more here because I want to represent the arc. That's why more number of projectors have been taken to represent the arc. Where the projectors they meet the bottom face, From here I can take the projector up to the horizontal, and then measuring the distances from the hinge line, say for example the distance here, okay, we will be able to identify the point or project the point on the horizontal projection. So with the same, let us complete it. So I am taking these projectors, alright. So obviously you understand the frontal view, if this is the true shape, this is how the frontal view will appear, and we are seeing the dashed line here corresponding to this, this and this. We are seeing the dashed lines. Now let's take it to the horizontal. So we are going to create the horizontal projection of this. Now one thing which is little conceptual here is, of course, first we are drawing the things which are simpler and which we can do easily. For example, this entire thing, if you project it, the outside thing, how will it project? Because the things which are known to me, I can project them in this manner, okay. See, corresponding to this part here, this part I can project. But now to project the arcs, to project these shapes, I will have to make use of the true shape here. Now one thing, when I started making the horizontal projection, I did not choose any hinge line, I had just put it here. But as we know, once we have the projectors are going to horizontal, from a certain hinge line I have to apply the distances which I am measuring from the hinge line on the auxiliary, okay, these distances, because they are being measured from the hinge line here. So I need the hinge line also somewhere here. So where that hinge line should be? To locate that hinge line, I will be making use of the fact here that from the center line, the hinge line which is there in the auxiliary is at this distance D. So from the center line, I will be taking the hinge line at the same distance as D over here also. So this is what I am going to do in order to locate the hinge line, and this is why this small green line here. Say from here center line to the hinge line, from center line to the hinge line, and let's draw the hinge line. So we can draw the hinge line, okay. Now once the hinge line is there, let's start taking the projectors up. So what we are doing now, corresponding to the point here, it is projected onto the frontal on the bottom face, and let us say we do the top face first, okay. We are doing the top face first. So from here the projector is going to the top face here, from the top face the projector is going to the horizontal, and the distance is being applied here, and this is how the point here is being projected onto the horizontal. So let's complete it, and not only for one point, it is being done also, say for this point. This point is projected on the top face here, projector going to the horizontal, and now I will be taking this distance as well as the distance here. So this distance and this distance, and using this I will be able to locate the point, these 4 points on the horizontal projection, okay, and similarly the other points also. So over here you're not able to see because of the difference in very light difference in blue and green color, but these points have been now identified here. Once these points have been identified, I can start joining them, and because I'm doing the top face, and this shape on the top face is visible, that's why it is coming as the solid line. Now if you see the bottom face, say the bottom face, where this point is being projected onto the bottom face, it is being projected here. So this point on the top face was being projected here, and that is how we had taken the projector up. But for the bottom, now I will be taking the projector up from here, and this is the projector which is going up. So the same distance now I will be applying on this projector in order to identify the point here somewhere there on the horizontal projection. Let us do it. So the line here which is projected here on the frontal will be projected like this on the horizontal. If you do it for the rest of the parts similarly, again, why this part is coming as dashed line? Okay, why this part is coming as dashed line? Because it is corresponding to, we are trying to plot this line, while this line on the bottom face, its point view is this, and it is hidden because on the top we have the object. Okay, we have certain other surfaces. That's why this cannot be seen and it is appearing as the dashed line. So let us complete it. And now one thing here, yes, corresponding to this arc, I will be taking multiple projectors, many points on the arc. These are being projected to the top face, and from here they are being projected to the horizontal, and now all these distances will be measured and will be applied onto the horizontal to create the arc on the horizontal. So I am applying these distances now here. So if I apply the distances, this is how the distances have been applied and the arc has been plotted. Similarly, the arc can be also plotted on the other side. So let's plot the arc. So right now this is my arc is for the top face. Similarly, the arc is also for the bottom face. Okay, so we can plot that also. Procedure is similar. So that's for the top face, and if you do it for the bottom face, because the arc here for the bottom face will be visible, that's why it is coming as solid. So if you complete it, this is how the view, this shape will appear like this as a foreshortened one on the horizontal projection. Once we have done it, I can do the same thing on the other side also. Procedure is same. Okay, so procedure is from the true shape, different parts of it. For example, I will take multiple points here, and then I will be projecting these multiple points onto the frontal. Say this is the top face and that's the bottom face. So I'm projecting them on the top face. Similarly, I will be projecting them on the bottom face, and then from here I will be taking the projectors to the horizontal. So if you do it again with the help of this, I'm locating the hinge line. So the hinge line from the center to the hinge line, that's the distance, same distance here. And then we can start now, or we can identify or project the other points. We are doing it for the arc, more number of points, so more number of points being identified here. Okay, similarly for this also, we will be taking more number of points, projecting them onto the top face, from their projectors up, so that we can project it here. So let me do it. So that is how the arc is being projected. So from the arc, multiple points taken to the top face, and all these projectors going to the horizontal, and there with the help of the distances which are measured. So the distances means these are the distances which are being measured. Okay, with the help of these distances we are putting them here and plotting the or making the projection. So the top view of the object can be completed in this manner. And similarly, as we had seen in the previous one, we can create, of course, the hidden lines we have to be careful about. Now we can also create the side view. So for the side view also, again we have to locate the hinge line as in the previous case. So we will do that. So from the center line where the hinge line will be located, we'll be making use of the distance from the center line again to the hinge, because the distance are being measured from the hinge. So first the simpler parts, and then using this I'm locating the hinge line, okay, as per the distance here. And once this is done, we'll follow the procedure that we have learned, and using that procedure we can create the profile view of the object. So we will create the profile view first for this side and then for this side. Of course we have to be very careful about the visibility part. What will be visible to us, we have to be very careful about that. So this you will learn more by doing this exercise. For the objects which I have given here, try to do it yourself, then you will learn it in a better manner. Of course we are able to learn here in this lecture the concept of it, how it is being done, that is more important. So if I create the profile view, yes, using all these projectors, that is how the profile view for this side. Similarly I will start doing it also for the other side here. For example, here this particular arc, how will it appear in the profile view? Okay, so that is how we have the projectors, and in the profile view the arc will appear like this, and we will be completing the arc and so on. So please do it, and the best thing is to draw it yourself to learn it. So with this we are completing the auxiliary view, and I've given you some very involved problems requiring lots of lines, projections, distances and all that. The best way to learn it is by doing it. So please do some of these yourself. Thank you.